Hey, I don't know what happened. My internet went out, so I've set my modem. If anybody can hear me, I maybe am the only one right now, so I'll wait. All right, starting to get some people to join us here. I'll wait until everybody comes on over. I know that people had joined us. I don't know what happened. I apologize. We're getting the technology figured out here. I'll take a moment to make sure that this comes back and we get everybody back. If you were on just a second ago, sorry about that. Not sure what happened. I'm fixing it as fast as I can. There we are. All right. Blessings to everybody. I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened. It happens. It means the once we start going live, the Wi-Fi starts getting effective with all your magical energies, and I appreciate it. So let me start again because I had to delete the other one in order for it to let me to go live. Sorry for any confusion there. So what I wanted to do is take some time after your meditation and talk to you about meditation, to go back to the basics. I have 350 some odd meditations on my channel, and it's gotten more and more advanced. I've tried to cover every sort of aspect of meditation. And I really wanted to spend some time and talk about meditating. What are you doing when you meditate? How often are you meditating? And what is happening when you meditate? As I've started to coach, I've realized a lot of people are not really meditating properly, or they have different practices, or they understand meditation differently. If you study Buddhism, and Hinduism, and there's so many other meditative methodologies. There is so many different ways for meditating, and I'll meet somebody and say, no, Brian, meditation is just a clearing of your mind. Meditation is just a breathing pattern. Meditation is a specific mantra. So different people are practicing different forms of meditation everywhere. My particular teaching has always been that meditation is fun. And I really want you guys to reach the point where you just have fun with meditation. You're never doing it wrong. You can lay on your back. You can sit Indian style. It doesn't matter your position. A lot of people make meditation so it's very specific, and they will chastise you. They'll tell you that meditation is only one way and it only works one way. If you check out my playlist I have on my channel, How to Meditate, I share some diverging point of views. I have an amazing interview with Tom Cronin. I have a lecture from Neville Goddard talking about his perspective of meditation. I read Alan Watts and what he teaches about meditation. And so when you're closing your eyes, my question for you, it's been very interesting. I'm getting some unusual answers to this. What are you seeing? What is happening when you're meditating? A lot of times I assume you're getting what I'm doing. So I want to go back to the basics. For me, when you use a meditation with me, I want you to understand that you are a portal, that meditation is a portal. Whenever you close your eyes, when you open them up again from your meditation, you're in a different place. The meditation is taking you somewhere. Oftentimes, it's obviously the same as, where you were at before. It feels exactly the same. But we need to understand that you have the ability to maneuver through portals into different dimensions and worlds and realities. And the more that you understand this, the more powerful it is for you. I know a lot of you struggle with meditation. I talk to a lot of people. When I'm informing you to imagine something or to visualize it, a lot of people are telling me some different results. They're not really imagining. So I want to unlock that for you. There are people in this group that are not able to visualize properly, and I'm with you. I've been there. I understand. It's sort of a gray space, or you experience flashes or images. So I want you to get into the process of controlling your mind, and do not make any excuses. If you've said, "Oh, I just can't imagine," My brain is not set up that way. I have a particular condition that makes it so I can't visualize or imagine. These are things that are not true. You can imagine through more than just the visual medium. You can imagine feelings, you can imagine emotions, you can imagine sounds. Elizabeth points out that you see sacred geometry. What you're seeing, if you're doing meditation properly and you start to clear your mind, when you get these visuals and it looks like sacred geometries and just these beautiful images, you're in the quantum realm. That's a great sign. When you start to see fractals and amazing images, then what's happening is you're entering into the quantum realm, and from that space you can start to imagine, it's going to be effective. I talk to a lot of people that simply do not understand what meditation is. There is no right answer for what meditation is. Meditation is a million different things. And I'm not advising anybody to not use a particular meditation theology, but the thing you're learning from me is that this is a portal. Meditation is a portal, meaning that you can utilize your meditation space to enter into other spaces. And the more vividly you imagine with any of your senses, you unlock gateways and dimensions into other places. So I would love to know how many of you, and there are some people in the group that have meditated with me hundreds of times. Are you imagining? Are you truly imagining? If you can imagine, as Neville taught us, as vividly as possible, then you're in a very small group of people, because when it comes down to it, most people are not meditating properly. Most people are not, they're seeing pictures or images or flashes. And so what I want to do is to teach you how to get your mind right so you can do my meditations with me. It takes a little bit of time, but I would recommend for everybody to sit still and learn how to be still for 10 minutes. One of the most fascinating things about meditation is that when you start, your body starts to fight back. It doesn't want you to sit still. So you'll have these itches, and you'll have an itch behind your ear. You're suddenly you're itching something, or something happens and you're not able to sit still. So you want to gain control over your body first. And that means just sitting still and meditating. Then the step after that is to put your mind in the right state. Silva Mind Control has the easiest technique: rolling your eyes up at a 45-degree angle or counting down from 5 to 1 to 100 to 1. Those are things that you can control. These are all things I want to teach you, and it may be more effective for me to teach you in person. For the longest time, you've just been listening to my voice, and you've started to see me talking regularly and doing advertisements. I have a live event in Los Angeles on November 21st through the 23rd, and I will be hosting, a couple hundred people, and there's still a bunch of tickets available. We're still offering the early bird pricing. And so in that event, I want to teach you how to meditate and utilize the meditative space to shift into realities. And I promise that when you walk away from this event, your life will be transformed. It's my greatest desire is to transform everyone's life. So what you're going to start seeing is, as a little change on my channel, I have focused on creating content on a regular basis, and you will continue to see content. But I have started to realize, to unlock our true potential as a group, that we need to start meeting as a group. This can meet in person or non-locally, in live events or through group events. And so I want to start honoring this, because as we start coming together as a group, we will become so powerful, so effective. We can start supporting each other. We can start imagining for each other. We can start helping facilitate for each other. And so I really hope to see as many of you that can come. You can find the link in the description. It's www.brianscottlive.com/event-November. And so what I'm going to be teaching is this idea that meditation is a portal. I want to learn how you're meditating. What's going on with you? Are you seeing images? Are you feeling? Are you adding what Neville calls the tones of reality? As I've started to talk to people, the more I get people that are just listening to the meditations, and they're not really meditating. So everyone's in a different place when it comes to meditation. I want you to learn how to meditate because it will change your life as it's changed mine. And for the people that have learned how to effectively do it, I don't believe you need to use meditation just to clear your mind. I don't believe we need to sit on a mountaintop for 30 years. I believe that we can use our imagination to travel infinitely through the multiverse, and the most amazing experiences are available to you. And so I wanted to dedicate this and really talk about meditation and help you work through what you're doing. And so I'm going to go through the questions here. Yeah, Bigfoot Dwarf, if you're in LA, I would love to see you make it. It would be amazing. Bali, thank you for purchasing my book. I appreciate it greatly. Thank you, Northwest Wind, for your kind compliments. Let's see here. I'm going to scroll back up and see if I missed anything before. Ramona says, I can only visualize my own quantum leap story. I can't imagine others tell me to imagine something. Yeah, that's I've something I've tried to do with my meditations is just prompt you and ask questions and allow you to do the imagining. If you're not capable of imagining properly when somebody else does it, then ask yourself. If somebody says, I want you to imagine the wealthiest version of you, if you're not able to do that, then ask, what is the wealthiest version of me? And try to imagine it that way. Let's see here. And so another thing that I've tried to do is my activations. I've actually had some resistance. People are like, Brian, why are you doing all these activations? Understand what I'm doing with the activations. Activations are meditations. Activations are designed so that you can do them while you're going about your day, while you're driving, while you're cooking. So I design those so that you don't have to close your eyes, or you don't have to go through any breathing exercises or progressive relaxation. I'm using hypnotic techniques to induce you into a state that's akin to a meditation while in a waking state. So if you are not on your own without me, I simply want to be a means to an end so that you can utilize my guidance and eventually you can become empowered to do it yourself. Uh, are we still buffering? Can you still hear me? Hopefully, I'm back. Um, M. Um, MS really says, do we repeatedly listen to activations or just once is fine? Every activation is a little bit different. Some of my activations are designed for repeated listening. Some of them are designed for one listening. The answer, whenever anybody asks me how often should I do this, unless I explicitly say in the episode, is you know the answer to that. So follow your own inner guidance. If you say, I really need to do this today, or I want to do this for a week to really work on some particular aspect of myself, then you should do it. The answer to all these questions is usually within you. All right. So I'm sorry for the internet. I wish I could answer why it keeps on going in and out. We'll just cross our fingers as we enter into these higher dimensions. Even as I've noticed with when doing coaching online, the Wi-Fi is affected. It'll be interesting as we bring in more light particles. The way it affects the Wi-Fi. It'll be funny when people's internet is out, but everybody's awakened. Um, Gay, good to see you. Thank you so much for always supporting the channel. You said, and thank you for calling me Mr. Wonderful. You said sometimes you see colors when meditating. Is that okay? Absolutely. Anything that you see in meditating is okay. You cannot do meditation wrong. If you're seeing colors, that's great. Whatever you're seeing in meditation is something from within you that is guiding you. There's a filter that you have when you're meditating, and the things that are coming through for a reason. Anything that's coming through is fine if you're seeing colors or whatever. What I want to do is get you to a point where you can start to control your own mind and you can create images on your own. That's the place I want everyone to get to. So we can start with some simple exercises that magicians would use with their apprentices in secret societies and mystery schools. I want everybody to be able to close their eyes and imagine a lemon. Imagine what the lemon looks like, see the color of it, feel the texture of it. Always try to add texture. Smell the lemon. You can smell the lemon, right? And so you could also imagine if you're biting into a lemon, then you can imagine your taste as you bite into the lemon. If the skin is on, you're going to imagine what the skin would be. If not, you're biting into the lemon. If you're like my wife, she eats the lemon with the skin. But I want you to be able to imagine things so that you can taste the lemon, you can smell the lemon, you can see the lemon. Try something like that, a piece of fruit or an apple, and imagine it. If you can do that one thing, where you can imagine eating that fruit, then we can go to a more complex scale. If you're wanting to, if you want to imagine driving your car, you don't see yourself in the car. You see yourself from your first person's perspective. You feel the steering wheel. You hear the rumble of the car. You feel the texture of the seat behind you. You look out and see the dashboard and everything about it. The more vivid your imagining can be, the more effective your meditation will be as a portal. All right. Annie, can't wait to meet you. I know you booked a ticket to LA, and so I look forward. I'm going to seek you out. I look forward to seeing you there. The way this is looking at, I should be able to meet everyone at the event one on one. We got some great music. It's going to be an audio visual experience. We plan on celebrating. There will be dancing. We're going to be interacting, and it's going to be wonderful. What I've always thought of, that what's really special about the Reality Revolution is that we are a group of amazing individuals. I meet and interview and coach so many people that are teachers, that are writers, that are experts, so many people that are even so much more qualified than I am. And I'm super honored when I see so many people come to me with such amazing talent and skill. We are like an advanced level social memory complex. We are a tribe. So many people I meet through this group are people that I feel like I've known, since the beginning of time, from the Big Bang. And so if you're attracted to this group, if you found yourself in this group, know that you are in a family. And that's why I want to start hosting these live events. I want to share your energies. I want to be a part of your ascension, your awakening. I want to make it so that you can teach what I teach. And so every single event is a form of certification so that you're certified not only to learn, but to take what I teach and go out there and do the same things that I'm doing. That's my goal. I'm just a part of this group. I'm the bus driver. Everybody else is coming along for the ride. And I want to be there for you. I want to be there as just another friend, as an individual, as your brother. And and so let's just take advantage of the fact that we have this amazing group that meets every day in our premieres, that can share space in our groups. And I'm going to facilitate some new things coming up so that we can work together as a group more, start imagining for you. And I will make some announcements soon about how we can take this group to a whole other level so that we can utilize this group in huge ways, and we can start sharing our timeline shifts. There's a sort of quantum entanglement that's happening with all of us. And that's what's so amazing, is that as we start interacting together, sharing these videos together, we become unified in ways that we can't imagine. And I'm seeing, and I'm going to be talking about this in some episodes. I've seen visions of the future in 2025 through 2026. And I really feel like the shift is happening now. And the shift isn't what we think. It's not people that are awakened and not people that are on their sleep. It's not. The real shift is the people that are coming together in groups. There's going to be all these people out there that are sitting alone behind their computers, and they've done the process, but they're still not able to go out and interact with others. The whole entire globe has been sort of formatted and created with powers involved that is pushing us to a point with social media and everything where everybody's alone. There's a loneliness epidemic where people are, they think it's okay that if I text you on Facebook or through my mess that I've actually interacted with you. But we have these morphic fields, electromagnetic fields that come from our hearts. And when we share space, that we these fields start to merge together. They are merging non-locally when we do these events. And so I think that there's going to be those people that are alone. those people that care only about themselves, and those people that start to come together as groups. And that's where the shift is going to start happening. That's what Dolores Cannon was talking about. We are more than ourselves. We are a unified entity. And so I want to actively find ways for us to come together as a group. I suggest that you form groups outside of this, meditation circles, groups, power of eights. I want you all to do that. All right. It is time to heal the earth, the drifting space. If I missed any of your questions, I'm going to come back and see if I can still find it. I'm scrolling back. Good to see you, Heart Coherence Collaborative. At the event, we have Kyle Boyd and Leah Rush. They're amazing. They teach coherence. Kyle's going to be doing Qigong events. Once again, if you want tickets to that event, you can find it in the description at www.brianscotlive.com/event-November. I know you, because I've had messages, people are disconcerted. Brian, you're promoting stuff. I have never taken people, so many people have said, Brian, I want to advertise on your channel. I've said no. So many people have come to me. I'm trying to get me to offer big money programs. I'm not. I am promoting this because we want to be able to pay for this event, and we want to share it with as many people as possible. And so if you can't go to the event, that's fine. But I really want, at least for people out there that want to go to this event, to have knowledge of it. And that's why I'm putting a little bit of extra time to make sure that everybody knows about this event, because I love you all and I want to help you all and I want to meet you all. That's what it is. All right. Where are we at? Northwest Wind. You'd like to know if there's any online Zoom type stuff. I'm going to be facilitating some stuff here in the near future. Keep your eyes out. We're going to be putting together some ways to facilitate online Zoom events for me, where I do Q&As on a regular basis, and also so that I can share these live events so that you can participate them as well. I'm facilitating ways to do that. So keep an eye out, and I'll make some announcements and ways to do that. Lisa, thank you so much for helping with the channel. You're saying the group has changed your life to help people with what you learned for the last 6 years. You've helped me out, Lisa. Thank you for supporting the channel. And I really appreciate you always being there for the channel. Let's see, what else do we got? If I mispronounce your name, is Xochitl Braden? If I mispronounced that, but I see what you said. Yes, I feel alone. No one like me around in my area. That's one thing. Right now, it feels like you go out and you're in a group of 1,000 people and you're still alone. It can really feel like, as you start to awaken, like you're more and more alone. It doesn't feel like you're connected to people or that you can relate to them. And so I'm here to tell you that you're not alone, that we share this space. I know what you're going through. I'm here on a daily basis to tell you that it's okay, that you're not alone. And I'm going to try to facilitate ways for us to connect and work together in every way, shape, and possible. What is interesting is, because you guys know I study timeline shifting, I have found that there's another element. When we start shifting in groups, it opens up even more possibilities for us. Our higher selves start communicating with each other. And suddenly all your infinite possibilities get merged with my infinite possibilities. And it becomes this larger thing. So that when we group, it's almost like we create a rocket ship and we're traveling together. And I've had some, like in groups of 10 and 15 people where I've done timeline shifting, facilitated quantum jumps. They've been so profound that it's made it my goal to facilitate larger group quantum jumps and timeline shifts for people. And so I'm going to start to do that. We're going to start to do some live events and live ways, even online. I'm going to try to facilitate that in every way I can. Please reach out to me if you have a way of helping me with that. I appreciate you immensely. Branded Awesome. You said, hello, Brian, longtime fan, viewer, and a subscriber. I have one question. What happens if you live with someone that's always negative? Take, for example, my mother. She's always negative. Branded Awesome, thank you for asking that question. There is no way that you can go through this ascension awakening process as you begin to learn the power of your mind that you don't start to realize the discordance of people around you. You will always end up finding your way into interacting with people that are negative and that don't believe. And in particular, it's difficult when we meet family members, people that don't believe, people that push back. And there's some different levels to this. You can start to form a sort of protective barrier so you can interact with them, but at the same time, you don't allow their energies, thoughts to interact with yours. As you begin to create a sort of protective shell and enter into meditation, that's one thing that happens. There are many cases where people have such negative family situations that I suggest that you get out of it. And if you think that's impossible, it's not. Many of us find ourselves in family situations where it feels like we are stuck. We're stuck with a mother, father, father-in-law, brother, sister, something. They're so negative that it doesn't matter where we're at energetically, they pull us down. We end up being like the five or more people that we're interacting with all the time. It it's just a fact. In fact, um they even find this with animals. When groups of animals are together, they start acting in the same way. It's any living things that are interacting together. So you have to find a way to protect yourself. If you're in a situation where you have negative family members and there's simply no way for you to get out of it, then I recommend that you, on a regular basis, meditate for 5 to 10 minutes. You bring in the light, you push it through all your energy centers, and you form a collective shell or bubble around your body. And as you do this with elevated emotion, within coherence with your heart, this protective shell starts to transform everything around you. And that when negative people are in your presence, a lot of times they're going to find that they don't want to be with you, and they'll find themselves leaving the situation, or they will naturally not affect you. Okay, everybody's situation is a little different. If you're in a situation that can become violent, get out. I don't care what you think, there is a way for you to escape. Start imagining yourself in a situation where you are alone. In many cases, the best solution is to get away from them. But if you don't feel like you have a choice, then you got to find a way to heal that. And it's interesting because a lot of times the discordance that you find with people around you in your life is a shadow of something that's happening within you. If you are starting to realize, I can't, this person is so negative, so terrible, then I want you to say, where is this within me? I'm finding this as a very powerful lesson for the world. When I see someone in the world that's absolutely disgusting, I can't, if I see some world leader or dictator, and they're just, that they're horrible, and I can feel the disgust and hatred towards them. I've found that I need to step back and realize that that person, that thing, that entity, that behavior is within me. And it works with family members. I think we're put with negative family members for a reason, because ultimately it's a lesson in love, it's a lesson in unity, it's a lesson of learning about ourselves. And if we can acknowledge that aspect of ourselves, we can actually start to heal it. And as we heal this aspect of ourselves, you will see the people around you start to change. It's amazing. If I begin to let go of my resentments, and I begin to see, okay, I have this selfish, greedy, horrible aspect to myself, and I see it in someone else, and I see it in myself. Then, because it's in myself, I start to heal it, and then suddenly they change. I've also found that sending light to people will change them. So if I'm in a meditation and I'm sending light, I send it to people that are in discordance with me. And as I do that, I find on a soul level they'll notice something different. It's like they come to me. If you're meeting someone that you are not working with, look into their third eye and imagine that you're sending the most powerful, vibrant love, and suddenly something happens with their eyes, and you can see a little tiny shift that part of their higher self is like, thank you for that. Like, there is a change in the energy. Take responsibility and try to be loving to them and see if they can change. I know that's a lot there. Let me see if I know a lot of you asked some questions in there, but let me see. David says, do you believe in soul contracts? Maybe it's not in some people's contracts to have certain things for the lesson that you have to learn. David, thank you for asking that. And after reading all the quo channelings, hundreds of quo channelings, I really do believe in soul contracts. There are arrangements and agreements that are made between other entities that we choose to make before we come into this life. And it's almost a universal truth. We make agreements. People are going to be in our lives. Maybe that enemy you have, they're your best friend in the other life, and that soul contract. They wanted to bring something out of you. You wanted to bring something out of them. I believe that we can release our soul contracts now as we're making this shift. We are not stuck with these soul contracts. We can release them. And I believe we're not perfect. We make mistakes. I think we make soul contracts that we regret as we become living entities. In a lot of cases, the soul contract has played itself out. So you can go within. I have done some episodes on this, and we can go within. We can acknowledge the soul contract and we can release it. And we can release the soul contract so we're not playing out some game in the simulation that to bring something out with us. We've moved beyond that. The karmic connections that we've formed, I believe that we're in a period of time in which we can start to release these karmic connections and these soul contracts. We're not stuck with them. And I believe that we can move outside of them if we make that intention. All right. I will get that book, Provocateur Astrology. That it's called not. It's not you. I'll make sure to look for that. All right. See what other question. Northwest Wind says, what would you advise as an ideal spiritual routine? Best meditations in your channel to do morning and night. Ways to stay aligned during the day. I'm seeking full inner love 3D as a byproduct. Thank you for asking. I talk about this with every coaching client, especially in our first call. And you guys have heard me talk about it repeatedly. I have several meditations I've designed. What I want you to understand is that you are always riding through a wave of energy that you've created previously and you're not even aware of it. It's happening all the time. And I have asked thousands of clients when I give them this scenario, and they all say, yep, I've had that happen to me. And so the idea is you wake up in the morning and then something unusual happens where you stub your toe, or maybe you're carrying your coffee and it shatters in the ground. And you have to take that 15 seconds to clean the coffee, and you're like a little bit frustrated, and then or you have a little bit of pain in your stub toe, or something else similar to that happens. And then as you go through the day, these events come. They're obviously not directly related to what you did, but they are. Suddenly you have a flat tire, or your dishwasher breaks down, or you lose a client, or the neighbor comes and they're angry with you about something. There's these events that come. So it's very important that you, at the beginning of the day, create your wave of fortune, which is taught in reality transurfing and was also sort of discussed by Neville Goddard in his Something Wonderful Is Now teaching. The idea is that you spend 15 to 20 seconds, you get in front of a mirror, and you just jump up and down like you're celebrating something huge. Imagine if something wonderful happened for you and you jump up and down like you did it. Yes. And you have that feeling. You put out this energy and watch the magic, because you'll start to have little events that happen through your day as you're going through your day that are similar to that energy. Now, after that, I have several morning meditations. Something Wonderful Is Now, guided meditation, the best day ever. And the pick me up meditation, or any sort of priming meditation. I have a playlist of morning meditations. If you don't have a lot of time, I've tried to create some short ones. Those are all designed with the idea that in that morning meditation, you're creating an energy that you're working towards. If you have more time, then you can spend some time imagining. Sometimes people spend a lot of time trying to clear their mind in the morning, but I think it's a great time to set your intention on what you want and to imagine vividly from that morning. The second step, through, as a part of your question, was, what do we do throughout the day? So I want you to continually to check in. What I'm teaching is shifting into your timeline, shifting into a vision that you want to live through. And so you close your eyes and you check in on that. What's happening with that vision? You can see into the reality where the thing that you want happened. Go into the reality where that version of you is living out your dreams as you want. Go in and check on that. See yourself, close your eyes, then you will inevitably start to have a connection to this other reality. Do it 3 times a day. It takes 10 seconds. Then in your sleep, it's the most effective time to imagine. So use that time just like Neville taught us. As you're going to sleep, you can imagine the things that you want. If you're still struggling because you have opposing habits or intentions, then you can reprogram your subconscious mind, and doing it in sleep is effective. That's why I create all these sleep meditations. It's in order to facilitate a way for you to reshape your subconscious mind, and so when you awaken, you can remake the matrix of who you are. Hey, Drifting Spore, always good to see anybody from Nova Scotia. Canada is my favorite. Go Canada. I love you. Let's see what else we got. Thank you so much, Sani, or if Sani, I don't know if I mispronounced that. Luminara says, create a world wave of wonderful news, 7 p.m. for 7 minutes. BST check, world clock, world frequency shift. That's a really cool idea. If we could get everybody in the world lining up at the same time, that's always been my dream. I want to do more of that. All right. See, what other questions do we have? Deanne says, I've witnessed the change personally. I had a friend I refused to give up on, and I cried. I was so proud of myself. I've watched her change. It's amazing. So yes, in terms of healing yourself, and you heal yourself internally, if you've seen others heal by doing that, it's a profound and wonderful technique. I agree, Lisa. I think we've all probably known known one another. It's why it's so awesome. This group feels so special, and something magical is happening. Let's see what else. Anybody else have any other questions? I agree, Terry. God puts us where we need us most. Wendy, dreaming is a good thing to do during meditation. Annie, I agree. We are going to change the world. We are going to change the world. The key word is we, all of us together, through our meditations, through our own actions. And the thing is, I want you to be successful. Why do I teach so much about prosperity? Why am I spending 3 or 4 episodes a week on money and prosperity and all the aspects of money? Why am I doing that? Why am I doing that? Because I have so many people that come to me that are essentially ascended and awakened, but they're struggling with money. And if you were to create a perfect system, you would find a way to make people feel guilty about their own prosperity, especially those that are spiritually awakened. You do not want to have to battle the forces of people that are spiritually awakened. So the whole system has been designed to make you feel like you are guilty of something, that you've done something wrong. I'm dedicating an episode about this. You'll be seeing it soon. I've always had people that are like, Brian, why are you materialist now? Why are you greedy? Why are you talking about money? It's because if we come together and manifest money as a group, then we have the power to change the world. And just because you're making money does not mean that there's anything wrong with you. You can use that money for good. You can change your family's lives. You can change the lives of the world. You have the ability to be of service. And so many people on a spiritual level are blocked from receiving prosperity because of some teachings that they received when they were younger that said that somehow wealth is a bad or non-spiritual thing. And so there's so many different ways of looking and understanding about money. Money is just pure energy facilitated. It's God in action. And I want to see everybody in this group just thriving. I want to see a bunch of Reality Revolution billionaires that are living their lives, going out and changing the world. If I can just help one of you to release your money blocks, then I feel like I've done my job here. And so I know for those that think, Brian, why are you always talking about money? It's because I have no choice. Nobody else is doing it. And I got to do it. I've got to help you because I think it's one of the most important things. And this is going to be a part of the event. We're going to have some prosperity teachings. We're going to allow you to connect to your richest self within your alternate timeline. The goal of this event is to connect you to your ultimate timeline, one in which You are the richest that you could possibly be. You found the greatest love. You're healed. You have authentic interactions with people that you love, great relationships and friendships. You're free to do what you want. Your greatest life, the greatest life that you could ever live. I want you to connect to that version of you. I want you their personality matrix to take over, and you when walk away from this event with your identity shifted, empowered with the ability and prosperity to change the world. And that's what I want for every single one of you. And I'm going to do my damnedest to make this happen. And once again, if you want tickets, you can find the description you can find the link in the description. FP, everybody should be a billionaire. When you say nobody should be a billionaire, who cares about the taxes? I'm not worried about the taxes. Everybody should be a billionaire. I'm not judging any billionaires. It's not whether or not you're a billionaire, it's whether or not you're using that money in a certain way. So yeah, there are billionaires that are unconscious. I'm talking about conscious prosperity. Unconscious prosperity, yeah, it doesn't work. Just like electricity can kill people just as much as it can light up the light bulb. It's conscious and unconscious prosperity. There's a system of unconscious prosperity that does not want conscious prosperity. And that's what I want to facilitate, if that makes sense. Subconscious Mastery. I have not watched the series called Quantum Leap. Are you talking about the original TV show, Quantum Leap, based on NBC? I did watch that. I don't think it's similar to Neville's Teachings, but it's very entertaining, and I love that show. Elaine says, I'd like to manifest the capital, begin my business journey to open networks. Elaine, I want us. I see you manifesting the capital. I want you to find a way to facilitate that. I want you to imagine it as vividly as possible. See it coming into your bank account. Hear people congratulating for you. I'm going to imagine it. I want everybody here to send that light to Elaine so that her capital comes to her business. Drifting Spore says, if I were a billionaire, I would change the world. I think that everyone here would too. That's why it's important. Absolutely. And I think that if one of us hits the lottery today, I really believe that we could change the world. I've helped to try to facilitate that. And I have a feeling somebody in our group is going to hit the numbers today. And I would love to see that. Edward says, what to do during manifestation when all of a sudden you experience a lot of synchronicities of what you desire. That's a good sign. If you're starting to experience synchronicities, it means it's working. Follow those synchronicities. If you have a synchronous situation happen, really evaluate what was going through your mind in that moment. And then you'll find that, that it will lead you along the path that takes you on the bridge towards the full manifestation of what it is that you want. Yeah, Lisa, I was wondering where Osman is too. It's too bad we missed out. Maybe it's because the timing of this, but I'll keep an eye out for him. Let's see. Amen, provocateur astrology. Let's all be billionaires. Can you imagine the power we would wield in changing the world if we were all billionaires in this group, coming from a place of love and light, creating the new earth with our resources? Why is that impossible? Why do we have to accept this limitation? Why does the whole world say that we can't do this? I believe that we can. Why do we believe that the world is limited to us? I believe that we can do it. We are going to win the jackpot today. Yes, Laurasia, I believe it. Somebody's going to win it. I can't wait. I can't wait to feel the excitement when somebody here wins it. It's going to happen. Write down some numbers. If anybody has numbers flying to them, I'd love to see if we can precognitively see those numbers. Teresa says, the wisdom you learn is very serious and nothing to play with. Teresa, I understand where you're coming from when you say that, but everything is play. Don't treat anything like it's serious. If you're learning wisdom, come to it from a lighter place. It's not serious. You are the one that created the universe, and you would never put yourself where you need to be afraid of the wisdom or the wisdom that anybody else receives. But I think I understand where you're coming from with that. Alfalfa M2 says, we've been assembling a team and have a property that's a couple hundred acres for the entire social memory complex. I can't wait to see it. You got to share it with us. I cannot wait. Thank you, Eglantina. Well, it doesn't look like anybody has any more questions. I see a question. Scrolling up here. What books do I recommend for prosperity? I want to be as abundant as possible to help myself and others. All right. Thank you so much. My favorite genre is books on helping people to manifest prosperity. And I've tried my best for the books that are publicly available to read some of those. So, of course, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wattles. But beyond that, there is a book by Tony Robbins. I always recommend Money Master the Game. It's a really good book to put you in the mindset of someone that has a lot of resources and how to invest them. I think that book is a mindset shifter. There are numerous books that are coming out, and if anybody has recommendations in the chat, they're constantly coming out, and I am constantly looking into them. I really believe that some of the best money teachings you can find on YouTube as well. And You Are a Badass with Money by Jen Sincero, I think, is another one that I really loved. And there's just like so many more. I have an episode, the top 10 books for manifesting money. You can keep an eye on that. And in that one, I go into more detail of the different books that I found that were the best ones for money. See, Saini says, the church has taught me that only the wicked attain wealth. False teaching. A lot of times, people will go to the biblical phrase where Jesus says that it's difficult for the wealthy to go to heaven. It's like going through the eye of the needle, and they don't understand there was actually a place that was the eye of the needle that when you would in biblical times where they'd have their camel and they would walk through and they'd have a lot of stuff, and they would not be able to get through because of the amount of stuff they would go through. And so people took that and for some reason said, I can't go to heaven if I have wealth. But that's not what Jesus was talking about. He was talking about unconscious wealth and the accumulation of things for no reason, essentially, and which, it depends on the nature of wealth. And that teaching is wrong. I disagree with Mother Teresa and her vow of poverty. People would come to her and she could have helped millions of people, but she refused it because she said that poverty makes you better. It doesn't. And it's not money itself in and of itself is not bad, and neither is wealth. And so there have been some misteachings that have happened over the years that people have started to understand that are wrong about wealth. And we must embrace the concept for us to be truly of service, to be of service to others. And also in the Science of Getting Rich, he talks about this. For us as spiritual beings to expand and to evolve, we need financial resources in order to do that. We do. If we want to go to that retreat or we want to buy that book to understand what we want to do next, we need money to do that. And the general level of prosperity in the world right now is such that during biblical times, if they saw that what the kind of prosperity that we experience, nobody's going to heaven based on that. And simply not true. We can utilize money as a group together and individually as a form of providing greater service and evolving spiritually. And so they are fundamentally connected. All right. Thank you, Lisa. Yes, I try to do my best to practice what I'm teaching. I'm not perfect, but I do my best. All right. If there were no poverty in the world, imagine what we could do. Sometimes poverty awakens our ability to create reality. It gives us the motivation to change our circumstances. But in all those other cases where it's systemic or it's unconscious, those are the cases I want to be there to help people. Daryl says, how can I improve my visualization to see and imagine in color and realistic images? So Daryl, I want you to go and see first with your memories. Go back to some memories that you have and try to reenact those memories and see how vividly that you can create them. And then as an offshoot of that, go and try to change the memory a little bit. See if you can change that memory. And so maybe you were playing baseball and you struck out. So you imagine I'm connecting with the ball. Add an element that's new to what you had before if you're not able to imagine. If you're still not able to imagine, if it's something that's difficult for you to imagine, you want to have that vision in your mind, Try to see if you can watch a video of something similar. There's usually some video out there of somebody doing similar. If you want to manifest riding on a boat, you're going to find some POV of somebody riding on a boat, and then you can start to get that. You start to embrace it. You start to imagine yourself. Then you add in the other sensory information. Take individual pictures and try to animate them in your mind. Um, Try starting simple. If it's complicated, then it may not be difficult. Try to give yourself flashes of images that you can do for 3 or 4 seconds. Like I talked about earlier, picking up a fruit, imagining the color, the smell, biting into it, and experiment with that. But I recommend experimenting with that. If people are struggling visualizing, don't give up. Keep on working it. It's like a muscle. And for a lot of us, that muscle is not fully worked out and it's not as effective. So if you work your visualization abilities like a muscle, you will get better at it. And also another thing to point out, when I start teaching timeline shifting, when you start seeing versions of yourself in other timelines, that's not visualization. You're actually seeing what's happening. That's what people don't understand, what's so mind-blowing, so groundbreaking. So if you start imagining a version of you that's living the very best life, and I call everybody to do that now. Imagine that version of you right now that's living their very best life. They have all the resources. They're traveling the world. They have the most amazing loves. They're living the best life. Everything is wonderful for them. What's the first thing you see? Maybe it's a brief image or glimpse, but you start to see these things play out, and it's not a fantasy. It's not a daydream. You're actually seeing into the timeline. We're in a period of time now where we can see our alternate selves. And I'm trying to facilitate a way for you to use this ability within your mind's eye to help you shift into those realities. So don't look at it as a visualization. You're looking at it as a memory from an alternate self. That's what's so exciting. That's something I'm going to facilitate and teach in our event in Los Angeles. Once again, the link is in the description, www.brianscottlive.com/event-November. Maria, I'm imagining you having the money that comes to you so that you could come to our event in LA. That would be wonderful. If you do end up making it, please seek me out and make sure you remind me so I can talk to you. Daryl, I can't wait to meet you. Just please come up and talk to me. I cannot wait to meet everybody. This is going to be epic. Alfalfa M2 says, can we make more videos on Intelligent Infinity? I'm going to do my best. Intelligent Infinity is really everything that are around us. Everything in this room around me is an energy that is intelligent, and there's levels to it. We can facilitate it. We can interact with it. We can utilize it. And Quo and the Law of One talk about Intelligent Infinity, and our levels of ascension are interacting with this Intelligent Infinity. Ultimately, you are Intelligent Infinity. Right now, briefly, you're not aware of it, but as we go through this process, you become aware of your identity as Intelligent Infinity. Eglantina asks, what inspired me to do a live event? You guys have been with me for 7 years. 7 years on my channel, and I've hosted 3 virtual events. I've done a lot of on-screen facilitating meditations and coaching where I'm in this office, and I found it to be comfortable. I got comfortable. I could have the non-local feeling of participating in a group, but then I would just sit at home. And I realized I had a small group event where it was about 10 people, and I did a meditation, and everybody had a huge change after this event. Everybody was coming back to me saying that was the most profound experience of my entire life. And I realized there's been something missing with my teachings. And if I can meet people in a live situation, our electromagnetic energy forms something larger, our higher selves start interacting, and our potentials start commingling. And it may be the secret to timeline shifting. If you're struggling with it, being around witnesses that can be there and witness your transformation enables you to transform as well, to be around people of the same mindset in a group. And so I honestly did something that's uncomfortable for me. I set up this event. I'm a public. I've taught public speaking, and I'm not worried about that. But I just didn't. I didn't want to go through the hassle of setting up an event, and then I realized I was wrong. So I took the next step. I took the courage to do this. I set up this event. I've been working on it for months. I stopped doing the live virtual events for a while to prepare for this. I've been allowing it to go in my mind in the laboratory of my mind, and I've come up with a way after really working on these techniques to facilitate an immersive live experience that I cannot bring to you in a normal YouTube video, where I can take you step by step. You meet your future self, you enter your timeline, you meet your future self, you start to interact with your future self, you gain their wisdom, and you open up all these powerful aspects of yourself. It's an identity shift. It's so amazing. Excuse me. Yes, Gay, that would be great to have 1 million subscribers. We're on the path. It's going to happen. I agree. Let's everybody in the field right now is one in love. We are all abundant. Let's take a moment at the end of this here, and let's imagine for each other. I want everybody to reach out collectively from their inner being through the hands of their soul and grab onto the hands of everyone else. I want you to connect with everyone else. I want you to reach out to your hearts of everyone else. I want you to feel a visceral connection in this moment. And in this moment, we are one. And in this moment, we call upon our higher selves, our guardian spirits, our spirit guides, our ancestors, extra dimensional beings, Quo, Ra, Seth, all these amazing beings. We call upon them to come into this space, and we ask you to facilitate the greatest level of abundance, evolution, ascension in this moment as a group. We call on you as one group. We give you permission to come into our lives, and we want to see and spend this moment to facilitate this expansion. I want to see the absolute prosperity and expansion of everyone in this group. I call upon it. I see it. Share with me in this intention. Take my hand in the quantum field, and let's facilitate this imagining. I'm going to spend a couple seconds, and I want you all to see it. Wow, I could feel that. I could feel that in my heart. That was cool. That was amazing. Thank you so much. So I want to facilitate the connection that we just had just now. We can start creating these group events, group effects, group meditations. We are a powerhouse. The world is not ready for us. We're the true Avengers. We've come from multiple timelines and multiple planets from around the universe to this moment. We are the ones that came together to help create this shift in the universe. Every single one of you is important. Every single one of you plays a part. And I'm calling upon you to play a part in this shift. If you can shift yourself, if you can find your own true light, then just you as an example can shift everyone else. And I want to see it. I want to help facilitate it. Thank you for allowing me to play a part in your life, that you share your space with me, that you listen to me, that you listen to my teachings. Thank you. I'm honoring you. Thank you for trusting me. I cannot tell you how much it means to me. I'm always going to try to put out something better, and we're going to expand. We're just getting started. 7 years was just to figure out where we're at now. Now is where we become so badass that we're going to start seeing on national news, the reality revolution is going to be a news item, because they're going to realize how powerful we are. There's going to be stories in the news, on social media, about the power of this group and the shift that we're experiencing. Everyone's going to notice. Everyone's going to want to join. We're all one, and we're the beginning of this process. Come together with me. Come together. Help facilitate this. I call upon you. You play an incredibly important role. If you can't join me at the live event, then I really hope that I see you somewhere else, in some way else. And I'm thinking of you. I'm sending you my love. I love you all so much. Thank you. See if there's anything else. And so go out and have just the most amazing Saturday. Love your friends, love your family, and do that for me. Just spend the rest of the Saturday. Don't worry about what's happening in the world. Don't worry about what's happening in your life. Just enjoy yourself, be in this moment, love it. And I will see you all soon. I'll try to do more of these live streams. I love you all. May the force be with you, and I'll talk to you very soon.